I recently took a day trip to Long Island, New York from San Diego, California, just to spend some time with Barron's Hall of Fame advisor, Jonathan Kuttin. If you don't know John, he manages north of $9 billion of AUM, and he's ranked, according to Forbes, as the third largest advisor in the US. And he's also become a good business mentor and friend of mine over the last few years. One of the questions I've always been fascinated to ask him is, if you could identify or simplify what's responsible for your growth, like what would that be? What would your answer be? And so I got a chance to ask him, and he said, you know, I think it's my ability to think, identify, and act on 10x activities. I thought that was interesting. I was thinking more like hard work, grit, determination, intelligence, family connections. He said an ability to think, identify, and act on 10x activities. And what he meant by that, when I asked him to kind of break it down for me, is there are 2x activities in business and in life, but let's focus on your business here. There are 2x activities and there are 10x activities. When advisors are starting out, it's really easy to identify 10x activities, right? All of us had fairly basic 10x activities at some point. Getting licensed was a 10x activity. Asking friends and family was a 10x activity. Doing some basic marketing eventually became a 10x activity. You know, doing radio, doing dinner seminars, buying leads. Those are all 10x activities at some point in someone's career. The difference is, once you get a good foundation of business built, those 10x activities will actually eventually become your 2x. Does that make sense? What used to be your 10x, what would get you from where you were to where you are, used to be a 10x. But what's going to get you from where you are right now to where you want to go is not just continuing to do the same 2x things. I know advisors that have been stuck, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, doing the same type of thing, running the same play. And at some point that was a 10x for them, and now it's just a 2x. And what they haven't been able to do is what John said his gifting is. Think 10x, identify 10x activities, and then actually act on those 10x. The reason I think it's really challenging is because all of us, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume you have some degree of business experience and success up to this point. That brings with it responsibility. So your 2x activities, if you are not careful, will take up 100% of your time. So where is the time that you have in order to think, identify, act 10x? It has to be by intentionally eliminating 2x activities. You either have to stop doing it, you have to delegate it to somebody else, you have to hire staff and pay somebody to do it, you have to have junior advisors on your team to push those clients towards, you have to intentionally take steps to eliminate a percent of your 2x activities in order for you to focus on the 10x. And the more you can do that, the more you can be very strategic in looking at what actually is taking your time, your energy, your resources, in identifying the 2x, eliminating as much as you can, and then committing to the 10x, the more you will accelerate your business success and break through to new levels. Sounds logical. But here's the part that I think gets really challenging. We're all human beings. Let me ask you a question. Think about this for a second. If you were to choose between comfort or discomfort, which one would you choose? Comfort, discomfort. If you're being honest, you would choose comfort. We are human beings. Our brains are wired in a way to keep us safe, keep us comfortable. So by default, you would always choose comfort over discomfort. But here's the real question. If you were to choose between comfort or growth, which one would you choose? Now, the advisor that's felt stuck for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, has the same basic business, they are choosing comfort. Whether they realize it or not, they are choosing comfort because growth equals discomfort. You don't get to experience growth without going through discomfort. That's the learning curve, right? That's the complexity. So, as you're evaluating your business, my two, takeaways from the video would be, identify what are your current 2x activities, meaning you feel like you have to do them, but they're not really creating any different results tomorrow than they were yesterday. They're keeping the machine going with some maybe mediocre growth. And what are your 10x activities? Are you potentially like John or myself? Our 10x activities in our business originally were forming partnerships with CPAs. That was able to help us to get into a better client mix, go upstream in terms of the type of advanced planning we were doing. But where are you at in your career? What is your 10x activity? And then how can you eliminate some of these 2x activities in order for you to be able to spend more time, energy, resources on your 10x? And then ask yourself also, am I willing to get uncomfortable in order to experience that growth? If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Would love to hear any comments below. Let me know, what are your 2x activities? What are your 10x activities? What do you think of this concept of comfort versus discomfort versus growth? That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it.